Sean. Hey Sean. Your script only has, hey guys, wake up. What?
1 hour later.
Hey, hello Seanzi, wake up boy. It's time to make a video. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening guys. The name bestowed upon me at birth is Seanzi. Guys, I was checking my YouTube analytics and I realized that we have finally crossed 6k subs. Let's go boys! I truly appreciate every one of you, especially those of you who always comment in my videos and dropping a like. People like you really help fight against the YouTube algorithm and push my videos out there. Thank you very much. With the introduction of Theostra comes a new status called Blast. While this is not a new status in the series, this is new to Monster Hunter now. Just like any other status in the game, your attacks have an average of 1 in 3 chances of applying status effect. With enough status effect build up, you tip the threshold and the actual effect takes place. This can be in the form of paralysis, sleep, or even an explosion. In the case of Blast, the effect is an explosion. With each blast, the threshold for the next blast increases until it hits the cap. Now this cap is from the main game, so I'm not sure if they will implement such a cap in this game though. Since this is new to Monster Hunter now, let's do a few tests. For this test, I tested out how many blast applications does it take to trigger a blast explosion. From this clip, we can see that the first blast was triggered by 4 applications, 6 for the second, seven for the third. So just like any other status effect, once the effect has taken place, the next threshold will increase.
How much damage of lasting?
To test if blast damage is the same across the monsters, I've tested using Theostra Bow with no Theostra Blast Powder skill on 8 stars and 9 stars Great Jagras. The damage on 8 stars Great Jagras is 1605, while the damage on 9 star Jagras is 3389. If we were to check out mhn.quest, 8 stars Great Jagras HP is 32,080, while 9 stars Great Jagras HP is 67,780. Based on this, we can derive that the blast damage is based on 5% monster HP. Great Jagras is weak to blast.
Wait a minute!
What about monsters that aren't weak to blast? Is the damage different? I did the same test with Gyros. According to mhn.quest, Gyros is blast neutral. Blast boom boom damage on 8 stars Gyros is 1684, and on 9 stars it is 3567. Same as before, if we were to use mhn.quest to get a HP of the monster, we can derive the same 5%. Lastly, I tested it with Theostra. At the moment, Theostra is the only monster that is resistant to blast. Based on my test, Blast did 12,583 damage. With its HP at 419,500, this means that the Blast only does about 3% HP damage. We can now conclude that Blast is fixed at 5% for Blast neutral and Blast weak monsters, while it does about 3% HP damage for monsters that are Blast resistant. For context, poison ticks are based on monster HP as well. However, in multiplayer where the HP of monster is scaled up, the damage is still the same as before. This means that poison damage does not scale up with monster's HP. To test if blast damage scales up with monster HP when there are more players, I tested blast on an 8-star Barov. When I fought Barov alone, I did 1178 damage, and with a HP of 23,560, that equates to 5% HP. I then went on to fight in a dimensional link with 4 players. Blast did a damage of 3065. With a HP of 60,080, this equates to 5.1%. I'm not too sure exactly why in multiplayer does the damage slightly increase, but we can conclude that the damage remains around 5% HP. We can conclude that unlike poison, where the poison ticks are a percentage based on the monster's HP scaled to one player, regardless if it's solo hunt or group hunt, Blast Explosion scales with monster HP and deals roughly 5% damage HP according to the monster's HP scaling.
What exactly does Blast do to monsters weak to it?
We have concluded that the explosion is 5% regardless of monster difficulty and weakness to Blast, other than Teostra. Now this begs the question, what exactly does Blast do to monsters weak to it? I have a hypothesis that since monsters weak to Blast and monsters that aren't weak to Blast both gets hit for 5% of their HP, the only other possibility for Blast weapon users to have an advantage against monsters weak to Blast is the rate that the Blast is proc. The average rate of building up to the status threshold is 1 in 3 hits. I guess in the case for monsters weak to Blast, the rate of Blast application is higher, or that when you apply Blast build-up, the build-up is more. At this moment, I do not have enough stats to prove any of the above points, as I will need a whole lot of recorded hunts. Let's wait for Sammy, our data mining Lord and Savior, to provide us with the holy details. For info, Sammy is the guy who runs mhn.quest.
Teostra Blast Powder. How does it affect us?
I tried to test this using my bow, but it proves to be difficult because there are just way too many hits and some of the number overlaps one another. I have enlisted the help of one of the cool dudes in my local group chat. Ray uses a hammer and has tested using hammer with Teostra Blast Powder level 0 and level 3. With no Blast Powder skill, I counted the blast was applied 10 times out of 24 hits. This calculates to be about 40%. This is in line with the current standard of applying status every 1 in 3 hits on average. With Teostra Blast Powder level 3, he applied blast 18 times out of 25 hits. This equates to about 72%. While this is just based only on one hunt, we can conclude that it increases our chance to apply blast status. Without proper data mining, the only alternate way is to test this out in a huge number of hunts. I don't know how to data mine, and I don't have that huge number of hunts to give you a proper quantity on the increase in chance to proc blast. If I were to guess, maybe it's 10%, 20%, 30%. The blast damage in both hunts is 1605, so we can conclude that it does not increase the actual blast damage.
Overall thoughts. Overall thoughts. Overall thoughts.
Blast is really just another status. Just like Raw, you can use it against all monsters. Elemental weapons are more niche in the sense that you can't use it against all monsters. Naturally, that makes elemental weapons better than status weapons. If you have already maxed out elemental weapons, do you need to make a blast weapon? This question can be asked by swapping out blast with any other status. There is generally no true need to make additional weapons. However, making additional weapons also means that you get to play in different ways. Guys, this game is supposed to be fun, and it's not all about chasing the meta and min-maxing every build. As long as you think it is fun, just play however you want to. Except you gunruns who shoots random parts of the monster, god damn it. My current plan for Teostra is to go with Focus 5, Teostra Blast Powder 2, and either Drift Smelt all slots to blast or burst. This isn't set in stone yet, and I may make further changes down the road to include some crit skills. We'll see. If the weapon is maxed out, perhaps the 5% HP damage from Blast is not that significant and Burst could be the better option. Since the inception of Black Diablo's bow, I saw how sick it is to do full damage with only charge level 3, and I have been waiting for such a weapon that does the same with repeat shots. While Blast is new and the level of novelty is high, I think I'll still want to max out this bow just for the sake of it. What about you guys? I hope this short video clears up any questions you have about Blast. I'll see you in the next video guys, bye!